Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the room. Hi, roommates. So, we thank God for allowing us to see another day, a day that we've never seen before, a day that we will never see again. This is the last week of the month of June. It is literally hard to believe that time is really going by so fast. And so, I don't know about you, but I'm grateful just to still be here and to be able to move and to breathe and to hear and to see and to do all the things that God has called all of us to do. And so it is my hope that this month has been a great month for you. If it has not been, you still got a couple of days. Want to say thank you for hanging out with us on tonight. Last Thursday, we were en route to Williamsburg, Virginia. And so we want to thank God for all that took place at No More Drama 2024. Apostle Dr. Latrice Williams and co-host this year, Dr. Alicia Stone. When I tell you, absolutely phenomenal. So I'm sure you've seen the pictures, you've read the comments. It's not that anybody's like pumping anything up or falsifying information. Everything that you read is true. It's true. And so I want to say thank you again for the opportunity just to serve, the opportunity to serve. So tonight, we got to have a heart to heart. We got to have a heart to heart tonight. So go ahead and like, love, and share this. Family, friends, people that you still kind of iffy with, share with them too. They need to hear it. So tonight we're gonna have we gotta have a heart to heart. We got to have a heart to heart. I'm a TV watcher. I admit I'm a TV watcher. I like watching TV. Some movies, yeah, here and there. But and music, yeah, it depends. It depends. I'm a little concerned. No, I'm a lot concerned. I'm concerned a lot about the stuff that's being put out here for us to watch and to listen to. And literally, I'm watching some things, and it's like thinking to myself, somebody had to okay that. Somebody had to co-sign or sign off to say, this is okay to put this out here for people to see. Literally, it's where our kids are being exposed to so much. We're being exposed to so much, and we wonder why we see the behaviors that we see. And it's like, well, they parents are da 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 da. Not when the parents they watching it with the parents. And so I just believe that there is a responsibility and there's an obligation that we have, especially if we say that we're Christians. I'm really concerned, y'all. I'm concerned because there are so many people who say that they're Christians, and there's so many things that God has put inside of you, and it has yet to be seen. And for some reason, it's kind of like we kind of shy away, or we kind of, downplay what God has put inside of us. And I just believe that for those who are watching and those who you're going to share this with, there's something in you that needs to be seen. There's something in you. There's something that God is waiting for you to put out there. There's something that God is saying, I put this in you. I've put a movie in you. I've put some songs in you. I've put some plays in you. I've put some things in you, and I'm waiting for you to share them. And so oftentimes, we think that spreading the gospel is just doing it behind a podium in a pulpit. No. Through the books, through the plays, through the songs, through the movies, through the television shows. I just believe, this is just me, I just believe that there's so many things that we could be doing that we're just not doing. There are two things that I've heard this week, and in two different places, mind you. And one of those things I've heard is fear of failure. Fear of failure. And the other thing I've heard is fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of rejection. And so sometimes we hesitate on putting our content out. We hesitate. Now, mind you, it needs to be, don't put just anything out there. We are hesitant about putting content out. We're hesitating about putting certain things out. We procrastinate. And then we keep saying, when I'm waiting on the Lord to give me the right time. I'm waiting on the Lord to tell me the right time. And the Lord is like, I don't know how many times I got to tell you. I've sent you like 4, 5, 11 prophecies. I've given you scriptures. I literally have spoken this thing over you time and time and time again. And so what happens is we get distracted because we look at the people who we deem the super Christians, the popular people. And so sometimes we hesitate because we want to choose popularity over purpose. This is not the time for that. This is not the time for that. And so sometimes it's like, well, God, what I got ain't really, it don't look like theirs. It's not supposed to. And I feel like, sometimes I'm talking to myself, especially. I feel like sometimes I sound like a broken record because it's like, it's not supposed to look like theirs. Well, so-and-so has a big platform. Work on the platform that you got. Well, so-and-so, and so we're waiting on people to support us. And it's really sad. I was sitting there literally pondering this. I've been sitting on this thing for a couple of days now. And to me, it's really sad that Christians don't even support Christians. Like other people, the people in the world, they're going to support each other. They're going to dog each other out, but they got each other's back. And so we're giving our dollars to the world, and then we're wondering why we're seeing the things that we see. And so we're giving so literally, if you are in the church and you're trying to put on a play, you literally got to beg folks sometimes just to help you do certain things. Not in all cases, but most cases. And so we complain about what we see on TV. We complain about how our kids are. We complain about all the things that we listen to, things that we hear. And the same people who very well could help fund some of these projects, you're choosing to fund the other stuff in the world. Now, let me tell you, look, you do what you and your money, that's between you and God. But if you can pay a certain amount of money to take a picture with somebody, okay. I'm just saying, we gotta rethink some things. We got to rethink about what we rethink what we're doing. So oftentimes we won't put our things out there because we're so busy trying to be popular. I want everybody to like it. I want everybody to love it. I want everybody to share. What if they don't? What if they don't? So I was literally sitting there thinking about this thing because I'm talking to myself first. I'm talking, we all in the room together. I'm talking to myself first. So there are so many things that God has given me to do. And it's well, God, well, I don't have the funds. Well, what about, I don't know the people. Well, God, what if they don't like it? And so he's like, who is this they that you keep talking about? Who is this they? Show me the they. Show me the they that has so much power over you that you won't do what I'm calling you to do. Who is the they? Who are the days? Who is your they? And so what happened was I was sitting there and I was pondering this. Okay, God, how are we going to get this out here tonight? And literally, this is what I heard. What if it's part of God's plan for your healing and deliverance for you to do what you're supposed to do? So what if you're waiting to be healed from something, or you're waiting to be delivered from something, and God is saying, it's like, well, God, I'm just waiting on you. I'm just praying. I'm just waiting on you. And he's like, literally, I'm telling you, if you would just go ahead and birth the thing that I've called you to do, if you would just go ahead and produce the thing that I've called you to produce, your healing, what if your healing and your deliverance and those prayers that you're waiting on to be answered are tied up and connected to you being fruitful and to you doing what you're supposed to do? So if you are a person, you have deemed yourself to be a creative, create, do it. It's not going to look like everybody else's. I just believe that there's some people out there, the things that God has put inside of you can shift the times that we're living in. And so I coupled this by saying the responsibility. I just believe that it is time to respond to the ability that you have. Respond to the ability. Choosing not to do so is choosing to be disobedient. Open up the business, write the book, write the play, get the script to the movie. Here's the thing, when we do it, we can't just do it in isolation. So, I've written 2 books, right? So literally somebody was like, well, Jenny, you gonna sell the book? Oh, I didn't think about selling the book. I just wrote the book. And so it's literally having people that God has placed around you to push you. Those people who are going to constantly encourage you. But at some point, God may say, don't say nothing else to her. Don't say anything else to them. Don't say anything else to him. And so then we get offended. Then our feelings hurt. And then he's like, literally, no, they've told you too many times. They've told you too many times. So while we're hemming and hawing and complaining and shaking our heads about what's happening around us, there are some things that God's saying, I put some things inside of you for the world to see who I am. Outside of Sunday, outside of the Bible study time. And so I wanted to have this heart to heart tonight to say, hey, God has already he already has the support waiting for you, waiting on you. Somebody's delivering. What somebody needs is tied up into what you're called to do. So the responsibility is yours. The responsibility is mine. Respond to the ability that God has given you to be able to do something, to be able to write, to be able to do spoken word, to be able to do fashion. I'm telling you, it's some stuff out here I'm looking like, and somebody's okay with that. And what we do is we succumb to what's happening in the world. And we say, well, that's just kind of the way the world is. And we're right. That is the way the world is. But it doesn't mean that's the way that you have to be. And so we have to prove. Oftentimes we want to prove, sometimes, people think that being a Christian ain't cool. I beg to differ. And so it's like we got to prove that, I'm still ratchet. And we are ashamed to be righteous. And so, we've gotten this thing about being righteous. It's like, well, I don't want nobody to think I'm holier than thou. I don't want nobody to think I'm trying to be perfect. Aren't you trying? Aren't you like striving for it? Striving towards perfection? Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? But it doesn't mean that you're perfect. It just means that you have decided to make right decisions. It just means that you have decided to make godly decisions. So every time God has given us something to do and we shrink back, that's an insult. That's an insult. Every time God is saying, hey, say this. Well, no, because I don't know. They may say some negative comments. It comes with the territory. They may not like it. They may not love it. It comes with the territory. And so then we have to decide, am I doing it because I want the likes and the love and the shares? Or am I doing it because it's what God is telling me to do? And unfortunately, we've seen it. We've seen it. There are some people who started off what we thought was kind of like on the right path. We were like cheering them on, like, yes, some good content out here. We're doing the thing. And then what happened was they started prostituting their purpose. They started prostituting their purpose. A couple of dollars got pushed their way. And so they started shifting this and changing the script. A couple of more dollars started pushing their way. Popularity became their goal. They started to get more recognition. They started to be handed more trophies and to get more acclaim and acclamation and validity. And so then they started prostituting their purpose. We see it. We see it. We see it. Money has become their God. And so I wanted to share this with you tonight. If he's put it in you, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Oftentimes it's because of our own hangups. It's because of our own insecurities. I want to secure things myself. And so those insecurities come from us rehearsing what we've said about ourselves, what we've heard about ourselves. It comes from rehearsing what other people have said to us, what other people have said about us, which means that we have forgotten to stop and take the time to go back and read and think about what God has already said about us. So those insecurities are self-inflicted. So at some point, we got to get past those insecurities. We got to get past the fear. We got to get past the fear of failure. We got to get past the fear of rejection. And I was looking at the word rejection. Rejection is like to throw back. And so if you put it out there and somebody throws you back or throws it back, what happens is if you get thrown back, isn't God right there to catch you? So we act as though if somebody rejects us, that's the end all be all. No, 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 no. Oftentimes that's the what you need, the catapult that you need. And so I wanted to share this with you on tonight because this has been a personal struggle for me for decades. For decades. Well, God, I don't look this way. Well, God, I don't look that way. Well, God, I don't look the other way. And so he's like, but you're so concerned about what you think you don't have, until you have forgotten all that I have put inside of you. So I started thinking, I was like, you know what? This whole thing about fear of people and being afraid of people and being shy and, kind of being withdrawn. And I'm not saying that you got to go out here and be wild and I'm like, oh, I'm on the scene. And if that's not you, that's not you. But here it is. Stop dumbing down what God has called you to do. Stop dumbing down who he's called you to be for fear of other people. Let me tell y'all something. Some of this stuff out here, I'm like, if they can be bold enough to put all this stuff that we see out here, I mean, bold ain't got no issues with it. Bold. So what does that say about the children of God? What does that say about us? What are we saying to people about God? Are we saying that he has not put enough in us to cause us to be obedient? Is it saying that he has not put enough in us to cause us to do what he wants us to do? And so when we hesitate, when we procrastinate, it tells people what we think about God. It shows people what we think about God. And so when we want to be more popular than more purposeful, it says, hey, world, I need your attention. I need you to validate me. And I'm neglecting the victory that God has already said I have. So he has already put some people in your life to help motivate you, to help push you, to help guide you, to help lead you. But here's the thing. Don't make them your God. They are just your guide. There's a difference. Oftentimes we see people who are on different platforms and it's like, oh, I want to be like them. And don't let people tell you, well, you're going to be the next. Don't focus on being the next. You focus on being the now. Don't focus on being the next. Don't allow people to push you in the space of, we're grooming you to be the next. No, you're not grooming me to be the next because I'm focused on being the now. Many of you, oftentimes you hear us talk about our son. And so he's 6 years old. And his thing is, if you ask him, who does he look like? He'll say, I look like myself. If you ask him, where does he come from? He'll say, I came from God. And so if a 6-year-old can understand, hey, I'm not like anybody else on this earth. And it is my hope and my prayer that he stays that way. Some of us need to go back to being 6 years old. Who are you? I'm me. Where did you come from? I came from God. And so over the years, we have allowed the world to speak over us and to speak to us and to tell us that nobody's going to support us and nobody likes what we're doing. And here you come with that Jesus stuff. Yeah, show up with the Jesus stuff. So if it's a t-shirt company that you have, go forth. If it's you writing more books, go forth. Go forth. Do it. If it's you producing television shows, go forth. Go forth. It is our responsibility. Respond to the ability that God has given us. Stop prostituting your purpose. Don't ever get to the point where you have to prostitute your purpose. Don't ever get to the point where somebody wants you to compromise your purpose just for a couple of more dollars. That's when we lose it. That's when it becomes watered down. We are called to be creative. Our God is a creator. And if we are made in his image, and because we are made in his image, we too are creative. So what we see out here while we complaining about it and while it's like, oh, it's a shame. And I just can't believe they're making them kind of clothes. And I just can't believe. So look at where our dollars are going. Research the people that your dollars are going to. Research the people that your dollars are going to. Research the companies that your dollars are going to. Research the companies that you're sewing into. Research the celebrities that you're sewing into. So I just wanted to come and share this on tonight. I have been sitting on this thought literally all week long. It's that fear of rejection. It's the insecurities. It's not so much that people even have said certain things to us. Sometimes, again, it's self-inflicted. Sometimes we just assume that we're not going to be great. We just assume that we're not going to do well. But in the next breath, we're quoting scriptures. Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have. We're good at quoting it. So now God is saying, I need you to move from quoting to quickening. Move from quoting to quickening. Be quick about it. Stop hesitating. Stop procrastinating. Stop thinking that you're not good enough. Because whatever he's put inside of you, he has already cultivated it. Whatever he's put inside of you, he's put inside of you. It's not going to look like somebody else's. I can't be anybody else but me. What I'm doing is not supposed to look like what anybody else is doing. So we like to say that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Stand on that. Stand on that. Are you always going to get it right? No. But does it mean you stop trying? No. So what if our kids like really see, man, they living for them. They living for God. And they rolling like that? Yeah. 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 Make this thing generational. So I just wanted to share that with you on tonight. If you have a business, or if you whatever you have a business or a craft, type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section. Let people know what you're doing. Here's one thing. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind sharing what other people are doing. It takes nothing away from me. It takes absolutely nothing away from me. If anything, I want people to see what other people are doing. And it's like, how do they know you're doing it if you don't share it? I know, I'm talking to myself. So I wanted to share this with you on tonight. If you have a website, if you have a business, if you have whatever you're doing, put in the comments. You can drop it on the page if you're watching the replay. We need more of it, y'all. God is going to hold us. He is holding us responsible. He's holding us responsible. Why shrink back? Why wait any longer? Well, I don't have all the resources. He knows that. Well, I don't know where the money's coming from. He said, yes, you do. It's coming from me because I'm your source. Well, I don't have the time to do it. He's like, well, what do you have? Because I'm giving you time. You got the same 24 hours that everybody else got. And so we have to stop shrinking back. We have to stop kind of, hemming and hawing. Thank you for putting that in the chat. People need to see it, y'all. It's not going to always be perfect. It's not. It's not. Every day you wake up, we are a work in progress. It's not going to always be perfect. But think about how much time has been wasted already. And again, I want to go back to this part. Oftentimes we pray for things, and we pray about healing. We pray for deliverance. We pray for God to do certain things. And he said, what if the answer is in your obedience to do the thing that I call you to do? What if your healing is in what I call you to do? What if your deliverance is in what I've called you to do? Which means if you're not doing, it's not God that you're waiting on. You're the holdup. You are the holdup to your own deliverance. You are the holdup to your own healing. You are the holdup to your own answered prayers. Because of the refusal or the hesitation or the procrastination to respond to the ability that God has put inside of you. If you are an artist, paint, write, sculpt. Let people see God in action. Let people see God in action. Oftentimes, people get caught up in the idea of that the only time you experience Holy Spirit, or the only time you experience God is when somebody is jumping and shouting and clapping. And he's like, So when the sound system is shut off in the building, when the doors are closed and the lights are off, where are you? What are you showing people? Where are you showing people I am then? So we will support all of these things and all of these actors and all of these actresses. And here it is. You got people out here trying to do the right thing. Sow into them. Oftentimes we're waiting for people to sow into us, but they don't know we're there. They don't even know we exist. They don't even know that we do what we do. So if you know somebody who has a business, tell them to watch this replay and put their comments in their business in the comment section or in the chat. I just wanted to take the opportunity again. I have sat on this thing for decades, like literally decades of fear. Decades of fear. Well, God, I'm going to do it when I lose weight. Well, God, I'm going to do it when I get this degree. Well, God, I'm going to do it. And so these things begin to happen, and I make these and reach these milestones. And then it's always something else. It's always something else. But then I had to realize, girl, ain't nobody doing it to you. That's self-inflicted. That is self-inflicted. So how insulting is it to God when we don't show the world who he is? How insulting is it to God when we don't use our life as a thank you note to him? God, you put this in me. It's not supposed to look like anybody else's. And so I wanted to encourage you on tonight. If it's a group, if it's a business, if it's a podcast, I know you're saying, but everybody got a podcast. Can't be everybody because you don't started yours yet. So everybody ain't got one. Everybody got a book. Can't be. Because yours is still on the desk being waiting. Then your note's still on the desk waiting to be written in book form. Everybody's doing this. So we have to even be mindful when we say everybody's doing this. But you haven't done it yet. So then it's not everybody. So even if everybody did do it, it's still not yours. There's something significant. There's something unique that God has given to you and for you to do. So while we talking about, well, ain't nothing on TV to watch. Because it's in your laptop and you ain't put it out there yet. Well, ain't nothing for the kids to watch. Okay, well, create something. Well, they looking at all these violent video games, and God has given you a creative mind. Use it. And if you don't know how to use it, help somebody else who may not know to cultivate their gift. That may be your purpose. So tonight, before this month is over, y'all, we are almost at 2025. Before this month is over, and y'all, some of us have been sitting on things since 2015, 2005. So before this month is over, take the time to sit down. I tell people that I talk to, do a brain dump. Get that stuff out your head. Get it out of your head. Well, God, I don't know my purpose. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. If it's tugging on you, write it down. Look for the common things. Think about what people say about you. Think about what you gravitate towards. So again, we are living in a society where, I don't know, because I don't want people to think I'm too holy. I don't know. And so it's like you still got to prove. We make shirts about it. I still got to prove that I'm ratchet. But God is saying, yeah, but are you ashamed of the righteousness that I put inside of you? Now's the time to pull that out. So, again, if it's only 4 people watching it, if it's only 5 people watching, I heard a pastor say, well, if only 4 people watching you, then God didn't call you to do it. Don't listen to that foolishness. Don't listen to that foolishness. And so we have been distracted by popularity. By popularity. Focus on your purpose. Out of those 4 people, it may be one person out of those 4 who was ready to commit suicide, who was ready to throw in the towel. But because they ran across you, because you were obedient, Oh, but you got 5 members? That ain't no church. Y'all, we out here saying some stupid stuff. like real dumb stuff. You ain't got no building, so you're not a church. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say your mama. Okay, let me bring that back. Let me see. Okay, let me bring it back. So again, we when I tell you the enemy is at work, the enemy is at work. And so we're falling for this stuff, and we're falling for all the stuff that the world is doing. And here's the thing that troubles me sometimes. We're looking at the world like, oh, wow, look what they're doing. That thing should be vice versa. They should be looking at the church like, oh, you mean God gave you the creativity to do that? Man, y'all, it's time to flip the script. We shouldn't be looking at everything they doing. They should be looking at us, and not in the negative way that they looking at us now. So yes, while this is a season of exposure, it is also a season of excellence for you. It is also a season to eliminate excuses. Like seriously, why you not doing it? I know I'm in the same category. I'm in the same category. Why are you not doing it? Literally, God is like, you keep asking me for more. You keep asking me for more. But you keep asking me for more. You know how kids do? And every time they go to the store, or every time Christmas comes up, they want something else. They want something new. They want something new. And what do we tell them? Go and play with them toys that I bought you last season. That's the same thing that God is saying to a lot of us. God, give me something fresh. Give me something new. Go work on them ideas that I gave you in the last season that you didn't do. What if your prayers that you've been praying, what if your healing, what if your deliverance is tied up in your obedience to do the thing that God is calling you to do? What if? We sitting there waiting. I'm just waiting for a word. I'm just waiting for God just to come on through. And he's like, girl, I done came through, left, came back again, and left again. What if that healing that you've been waiting on? What if that deliverance that you've been waiting on? What if you've been praying and praying? I mean, praying to the point where you sweating. And God is like, I've given you the answer. If you would just do what I've called you to do. I'm gonna let y'all go. I heard Kevin Hart say something about his Bible or something, and he needed some money or something like that. And so it was where he was needing some money, and so something I'm paraphrasing. And so his mom was like, okay, we'll something to the point where did he look in the Bible? And so he's thinking, okay, she about to give me a word, this and the other. And so he did not know that the money that he needed was in the Bible. His mom tucked it away in the Bible. And so the gist of it was, what you looking for, you look at everywhere else, but it's right there in the word. Stop looking at everybody else. Stop looking at everything else. And I'm not saying don't admire people and admire what God has done through people, but the same thing that we're admiring about the world and the same thing that we're admiring about, can I tell you, it's a Christian out there with some blockbusters in YouTube. It's some blockbusters in YouTube. It's some top Billboard songs in YouTube. It's some galleries waiting to hang up your art. It's some fashion weeks waiting for you to stitch and sew. It's some stages waiting for your TED Talk. So we got to start oohing and ahhing at the world. Ooh, like we in the candy store, like we've never seen anything before. And God is looking at us every time we do it like, what? That's the same thing I put inside. The only difference is, y'all, they're choosing to do it. They ain't hesitating. They ain't that, and will charge you $1 billion. And what do? We pay for it. We pay for it. There's some designer bags in you. There's some plates. You know how you get the big plate now? and they put like a little bit of food on there. There are some gourmet restaurants in you. Turn on the stove. Get to cooking. There's some talk shows in you. So while we ooh and while we oohing and ahhing at the world and admiring everybody else and what they're doing, God is saying, this is face. We crying, but God, He is unbothered and unmoved. He is unbothered and unmoved because He's like, you really gonna sit here and have a pity party? So, if you did not get a chance to hear me before, if you have a business, if you have a ministry, if you have a website, please put it in the comment section. Please put it in the comment section. Don't be shy. You know, again, I keep hearing this thing, and it came up, I think, in No More Drama too. This thing about false humility. Oh no, I don't want to. It came up in 5 a.m. prayer. It's like, oh no, I don't want to. And God is like, but it's not about you. So if you have a business, if you have a website, whatever you have, put it in the comment section. I'm not this whole thing of, this is my platform. I'm not going to put nobody else stuff on my platform. You never know who you're helping. You never know who you're helping. Y'all get the word out. We get the word out about everything else. Get the word out. There's a TMZ in you, but in a good way. There's some entertainment news channels in you, but in a good way. Think about how we are inundated with news constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It never stops. You gotta say, what if y'all take the opportunity to put the good news out there? What if you, and I'm not just talking about the Word Network, TBN, and Daystar. God bless them too. But there's some networks out there in you. There's some magazines out there in you. There's some designer shoes out there in you. Get the word out. Get the word out. But the insecurities have got to stop. We got to stop. But here's the thing. Once God's, once He puts you out there, it's going to come with certain things. But here's the one thing I'm encouraging all of us not to do. Don't prostitute your purpose. Don't compromise. Stick to the plan that God has given you. So, I love y'all. God bless you. I do want to share a couple of things on tonight. Prophetess Davina Jeter is having a women's retreat, Davina Jeter Ministries. Your meals are included. Your lodging is included. September 13th through the 15th. It's $180 per person. When I tell you, get in these rooms, get in these spaces. Get in these spaces. You know, we want to pretend and we want to act like, I just don't know how to get myself together. I just don't know. I need to be, I don't know and God is like, I'm giving y'all resources. So here's the thing. We spend money on everything else. Learn to invest in your healing. Invest in your wellness. Invest in your righteousness. Here's another piece. Catalyst is coming. Dr. Darius Jeter and I will be working together. Catalyst. If you are a business owner, if you are a entrepreneur, if you are a corporate exec, if you are a ministry leader, pastor, whomever, get in this space. September 21st. More details are to come. Get in this space. Get in this space. It's time, y'all. It's time. It's time. Marketplace ministry. It's time. It's time. And last but not least, the Room Experience is coming back again November 9th. November 9th. So be sure to stay tuned. Save the date, November 9th. Literally, y'all, God is stretching. God is like, I ain't going to tell you no more. I ain't going to, but God, I can't. But God, I can't. He's like, what they say? He's like, miss me. Gina, miss me with that. That's what God is saying to us. I don't want to, don't. You know how they gotta grab your lips. Like, just be quiet. So I love y'all. God bless you. seriously, if you have something, put it out there. I don't mind sharing it on my page. I am not that person, Now, if it's gonna be foolishness, I'm not sharing no foolishness on my page. That's not gonna happen. So I want to say thank you to those who've been sharing again, these spaces that God is creating. Share it, get people out, let people know what we're doing. I said we, and I wasn't speaking French. Okay, I think I'm ready now. So stay tuned. There's so many things that are coming about, and don't be so, well, I don't want to tell nobody, this, that, and the other. Let the people know. Let everybody know what we're doing. It's time. It is time. You just never know what your project, what your business, or whatever it is that you're doing. You just never know how it might shift somebody's thinking, how it might shift the mindset of somebody. Somebody just very well may see your project. They may read your book. They may see your movie. They may see your listen to your podcast. It literally will change their entire life. So as long as you're holding on to it, like you scared to put it out there, people are people. That's one thing I had to realize. People are people. People are people. People here, people there, people everywhere. People are people. And so there's no need to fear anybody. Yes, we respect people, we honor people, but there's no need to fear anybody. There literally is no reason to fear. Literally, scripture says, like, okay, what can man do to you? What can they do to you? So I pray that you took this to heart. I've been sitting on saying literally the whole week. Even my house has been quiet. I've just been sitting and thinking. And it's like I had to apologize. I was like, God, I'm sorry. I had to repent. I'm sorry. Because I'm thinking it's other people. I'm thinking it's, well, God, is just not my. And he's like, no, Gina, it's not the other people. It's not. He said, no, it really is you. You've been sitting on this. So that deliverance that you're asking me for, that healing that you've been crying about, all of the things, the answered prayers that you're looking for, he said, it's in all of the stuff that I've called you to do. That's where it is. That's where it is. That's where it is. I love you. God bless y'all. The next time we'll see each other will be, it'll be July. So look, I pray blessed upon you. Go forth and be. Go forth and create. Go forth and share the works that God has put inside of you. Have an awesome evening to come. Be safe out there. Pray for this world. Pray for this world. Pray for this world. I know in Bible study on Tuesday, we were talking that there's civil unrest in Kenya, on the continent of Africa, that they're upset about the cost of living. And we understand that all the world over here where we are, even in these United States. So keep this world lifted in prayer. I'm telling you, I feel it in my spirit. I'm telling you, we can no longer hesitate. What God has put inside of us is the answer to somebody's prayer. I'm telling you, it's the answer to somebody's prayer. I'm telling you, it's the answer to somebody's prayer. It's a car design in you. They ain't got to get all the money. What is it? We say the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. It's out there. So I love y'all. God bless you. Have a good night. And just be nice. Try your best to be nice to people. I know sometimes it's hard, but try your best to be nice to people. There's enough people out here being mean. So have a great evening, and we will see you next week. Good night, everybody. Holla.